So now I want to show you Jasmine. So if you click on 126 at samsclass.info and then projects, by the way, you may notice the project numbers are all out of order because I've tried to rearrange them to be more logical for the topics. So I put this 301 project earlier, and this is where we use Jasmine. Jasmine, all you do is you install Java on your machine, which runs on any operating system, and then you download this Jasmine thing, which is a jar file, and double-click it. So I don't think I've got it running. I think I have to launch it. So that's Jasmine. All right, I double-click Jasmine, and then it takes about 10 seconds to load because Java is always slow. The Java virtual machine is slow, but it does work if you are a little patient. And I think it's going to open on my screen way over here. At least it did last time. Oh, there's main here. That's a good sign. That means my Java virtual machine is up. Ah, good, there it comes. Okay, so here is Jasmine. I'm just going to make it. All right, so Jasmine, this is the splash screen to get started, and all you do is you use new file here. Ignore all the rest of this. Hit new file, and again, there will be a delay of a few seconds. We'll use this time to resize. There we are. I can resize it a bit so I can get to the instructions behind it a little more easily. All right. And I should be able to, there we go. So what we have here is a simulator of the x86 processor. Here are the registers, EAX, EBX, and so on. Here is the flags to tell you if you have 0 or not. These are the floating point registers, which I didn't talk about, and we're not going to use them for much. And here's where you put the commands. So let's just put in a couple commands like move EAX, 1, and I spelled EAX wrong. And you see a comma must be placed only after a parameter. It's EAX. All right. And by the way, I might be able to make it bigger. Let me just see. File. Configuration. Kind of annoying. That's kind of too small for the video. Let me spend a few seconds trying to figure out how to make it bigger. I don't think any normal key presses are going to do it. Oh, here's configuration. Good. That's what I hoped. There's a font size. Oh, good. Let's take it up to like 25 and see if that works. Okay. Then new file. And hopefully it's doing something. There we are. Oh, good. Just what I was hoping. This got bigger. So now I can put in move EAX, 1. And that's a proper command. Now I can do move EB. And I'm going to put EBB, 2. And see, it doesn't turn green. So it's going to warn me that something's wrong. So I have to do EBX here. All right. So now notice this green highlighted thing. That's which command is next to be executed. And you can also see it here, EIP of 0. So it hasn't executed this command. If I hit this button, it'll run to the end. If I hit this button, it'll do one step. So I execute this. It executes one command. It puts a 1 in EAX, and it moves to the next one. If I execute that command, it puts a 2 in EBX. So that's cool. Now I could do this. Now notice I have memory over here, 0, 4, 8, C, and so on. And so let me just move this down a bit on the screen. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, how do I get it back, I wonder? All right, I've somehow fouled up this docking thing, but it'll be all right. I just want to move this down and make it smaller. Okay. There we are. Now the part you need to see is visible, and this bar is floating above, which is okay. All right, so now I'm going to put some data in the memory there. I'm going to move I can get down here. Come on, enter. Okay, move. Let's put into address 0 a 4. And so if I execute that command, it puts a 4 in here. And if I run this to the left, you can see this is a 4-byte value, and it has put 00000004, a 32-bit value there of 4. And I've referred to the memory location 0. Now let's try the stack. If I push EAX and I push EBX. All right, so when I push, I'll execute that. Nothing appears to have happened, and the reason that is because what it does is it puts the normal memory at the starting values at 0, and it puts the stack at the bottom. So here it is at the very bottom. FFC is this last memory byte available, and that's where it put this 1. And when I push EBX, it'll put it there. So that's how Jasmine simulates it, and now you can execute all sorts of commands here. Notice, by the way, now that I pushed EAX and EBX, my ESP and EBP have changed. The base pointer points to 4096, and I think I'll just change this to hex to match this hex over here. There. Now the EBP is 1000, which is pointing off the bottom here. This is FF. By the way, this is how you count in hexadecimal. F0, F4, that's 4 ahead. F8 is another 4. FC is the next 4 because C is 12. And the next one would be 0. So you can see it here. I have E0, E4, E8, EC, F0. So this EBP being 1000 is pointing to the next line off the visible lines here. That's the bottom of the stack. And the stack pointer is pointing to FF8. The stack pointer points to the top of the stack here. So my stack is only 8 bytes big, enough to store 2 data here. And so I could push 3 onto the stack. And now I have 1, 2, and I pushed a 3 up here. And for some reason, it pushed it strangely, 3000 instead of 3. God, I don't know why it misinterpreted it. But anyway, now I can try removing data from the stack. Now I can pop. I'm going to do another push to get this even. It pushed for some reason a 16-bit value there, and I don't know how I messed that up, but I'll just do another push 3 to finish that. All right, now I've got the stack pointer there, up to FF4. Now I can pop some things. So I'm going to pop into ECX. So ECX is currently 0, but when I pop the top of the stack into it, where I have this number 003003, that puts that number in here, ECX. And when I pop into EDX and execute that, it's going to take the next number, which was 2, and put it in EDX. So that's the fundamental individual assembly language commands to execute here. And you can put code here, and this is just stored like a normal text file, and you can just copy and paste this into any text editor. So this is a really nice way to get started learning basic assembly. And so I've got some explanation of things here, and I've got some little challenges, some little programs to run, and then some little challenges. So you should be all right here, practicing simple little bits of assembler, and that's the way to get started. And this thing even has a little console, so you can view text stored in some data, so you can actually print out little messages. So it's really very nice. This little Jasmine thing is a fantastic way to learn assembly language right from the beginning. And that's what I wanted to show you. I'm going to stop this one.